Forging cyber security experts. Secure Ninja.
Hey everyone, I'm Alicia Webb with SecureNinjaTV. Now, our free preview of SecureNinja's online Sensei series has generated such a positive reaction that we've decided to give away every single module from this Cyber Kung Fu course, featuring Larry Greenblatt, Tom Updegrove, and me. If you like what you see and would like to experience a Secure Ninja training course in person at any of our training locations, we have some amazing time-sensitive specials for you. Just visit SecureNinja.com/specials for all of the do not miss deals. And now, here is your free module from Cyber Kung Fu for the Certified Ethical Hacker version 8. Enjoy.
Okay, so welcome to hacking the web. This is websites, web applications, parameter tampering, cross-site scripting, even some SQL injection. We can use a little bit of each of these techniques in order to find out something about Bad Store. So Bad Store is a training website that is vulnerable to all those approaches. But yeah, it's still pretty hardy. I mean, it takes a lot of work to really get yourself in there. And so usually at this point in the course, I kind of throw this out and I ask everybody to see what they can do in terms of hacking it. And people kind of, you know, they pull out burp and they pull out even different types of vulnerability tools that use Nessus to find out what they can about it. Okay? But sometimes the best way to go is just manually. So, and you know a little bit about web. I mean, after all, your name is Alicia Webb.
Yes, yes, I do. I do. I knew about the web before it even existed.
All right, so, but I know you know a good bit about it. So, what would you do? How would you hack this site, or how would you get into it?
Well, let's see.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but it's always a good thing.
Let's see. I would try to sign in, maybe create an account.
That sounds like that's a good approach to go.
We could use maybe that burp.
You know, I mean, I would just kind of roam around, you know, see what's available, what comes out, you know, what information I can get, because it's like anything else, you're really like a blind person poking around, you know, like, you know, what's up, you know, what's there, and we would use some tools.
Yes.
So we use burp. There's another one called Directory Buster that just tries directory folders and just tries to just map out the whole site. You know?
Cool.
So what's crazy is working with web applications is we're like starting all over, where before we were working with system stuff, so we were doing, you know, MAC addresses, IP addresses, what services were available, what could we exploit. When we get to the web, it's a whole other game. Everything is an entirely new thing. So we're back at the point of really, you look at it going, you know, what do you have to offer me?
Right.
Yeah. You know, one of the things you could do, and I think you're thinking right there, is I'd run Nmap against it. You know, I would. Right now, we can see that we're running a local IP address here anyway, right? So we know the IP address of it. But I could Nmap it and say, well, what ports are open? Okay. I know that on this one, there's 3 ports open. There's a web port, and it should be. There's a SSL port, port 443, for secure transactions, right? And there's a MySQL port that's open for access to that. But typically, what people are going to do is try to break in via the account. You know, they want to get into this in some way. Right now, there's an unregistered user who's trying to get in here, but I'm sure if we want to buy stuff, we probably couldn't. So anyway, in this case, I would create a user account, right? Log in.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a user account. But we're going to use a little tool from last lesson, last lab. Right, so in this case, I'm going to throw burp up, and I'm going to put the intercept on. Okay. That means every request gets stopped.
Right.
Okay, so we can examine it. But here, I'm going to go, I'm going to register for a new account. Okay, so it's going to be Jimmy Bond, right? And it's Jimmy at jimmy.com. That's Jimmy's, right? And the password is going to be
I could guess.
Jimmy. All right, we're going to make it real simple, right?
Yeah.
All right. Pick a color.
Red.
There you go. I knew you were going to say that, okay? And I'm going to hit register. Now you notice burp's kind of popping up here, right? Okay? And if we kind of look in here in our code, right, anything kind of strike you as interesting?
Well, let's see. It looks like a request is going across. Jimmy Bond. Well, it looks like it's what you put in.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting that I can see all that.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah.
A lot of times what will happen is they'll take this and they'll hash this whole thing and then send the hash across. That's usually the way kind of payment terminals work. But the one thing I found out about this was kind of interesting. If you look here, role equals U. Okay? Yeah. So if I take that U, okay, and then change it to an A, okay, and then forward that through, that turn my intercept off. It's kind of interesting too because I'm getting a session ID here. Anyway, everybody wouldn't necessarily see that, so I'm going to turn the intercept off, let everything go through for now. But now I have a login, so I can log in here. Jimmy at jimmy.com, right? Jimmy. And it gives me kind of privileges to a degree. For instance, if I log somebody else in here, let's say, let's just create another account. Okay, so right, so
It's supposed to be CM or com?
Oh yeah.
That would be an awesome email address.
Right, so Alicia's kind of logged in here, right? I can gather, I certainly can do some certain things, and I know that you should be a typical user here, right? Okay? So let's go back to our little tool again, okay? And we're going to use a little different feature of it. And this feature's spidering. Okay, so I want to spider this whole website. And in the spidering, basically what a spider does is it kind of walks through the website and finds just about every folder, file that's available. Okay? And there's one particular area of the website that people tell spiders to stay away from. It's called robots.txt. But for us, it might be an important thing, right? So we're going to submit all the forms through. We're going to let it continue to spider the site. There's a lot of information there. And in spidering that site, good. I come back to my target, and I'm just going to put that in my scope, right? That's in the scope, so I'm going to hit that. Click on Show Only in Scope Items, then hit Filter. Okay. But when I drop down on that, you can see that I've got really a number of folders sitting in here. And I look in this CGI bin, you see some of these admin equals this, admin action equals. This is interesting because these are parameters that I might be able to use. When I look at the website here, see action equals what's new. I want to try some of these. Yeah. So there it is, action equals what's new. So I'm going to go up here and go, perhaps, I'm not going to go that yet. Yeah. So we talked a little bit about robots.txt, right? And in there, if I look at blow my window up here a little bit, you can see here that it's saying disallow. In fact, if I go in the website itself and I throw up, let's say, the web address, and I go .txt, I just kind of type it in there. It's going to take me to the actual robots.txt file. It's telling me here that disallow the CGI bin, supplier, and upload. So usually when you're kind of doing reconnaissance of a website, you want to kind of look through some of these things, because there might be information. There might be folders in there that have an old config. There might be passwords in there. There might be information that is important, helpful. So if I just go supplier, hit that, it kind of takes me to a directory on there, and there's accounts. So when I kind of click into accounts, I wind up with certain accounts. I mean, these again look like hashes in a way. So a lot of this is just trial and error. But what I found was I can take this particular hash, right, copy it, and go to my tool, and it just so happens that it has a decoder. And if I paste that in there and I decode it, I found that actually I decoded it as base 64. See what we got here?
Yes.
So that's just some stuff that you get from rooting around. Okay? So usually then I have people try to log in with these accounts. We found that actually this account has something to do more with the database, so that in a sense it still didn't allow me to do anything with the website. So when I went back to the website itself, I found that I couldn't log in with that account, but if I manipulated this action up here out of all those terms that we saw, I just tried one after another, but I went action, why not try action equals admin? Yeah? So I hit that, and that's what I came up with. I said, wow, that's pretty cool.
Secret administration there.
Yeah, but still, I went, what can we do here? Reset user password, add user to the show current users, okay? Oh, that's cool. So I hit that. Okay. All right, so so you know they're on to you.
Yeah, it's letting you know that you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
You have other steps to complete first, and it's letting you know that they know who you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. But if you remember, we went back. I kind of jumped ahead a little bit on this, so that when I logged in with Jimmy, right, and I changed that that U to an A, I created an account. Turns out that I created an administrator's account.
Wow.
So that if I go back to my account and I log in, right, I log in at Jimmy, right, at jimmy.com, right, use Jimmy's secret password, Jimmy, and log in, cool. But if I go back up to action equals login and I go back to action equals admin, and then look at current users,
Wow.
I hit a gold vein.
Just by changing that one letter to A.
Right. That's weird, but you know, simply by watching what's going across the wire, and you can decipher a lot of information. So a lot of times you'll get, sometimes they're looking for the username, some site number, the date, the time, and they'll take that whole key and put it together. So sometimes you can get 4 bits of the information, and then simply by substitution you can usually find out what the last remaining bit of information is. Now the interesting thing here is we've got password hashes. Okay? And again, you got to play around with it, and you've got to kind of look at them. I found out that these were MD5 password hashes. So I don't have, in fact, here, let's do this. Can we blow this up? I guess we can't. So I'm going to grab that whole hash. And MD5, it's great that people put this stuff out there. MD5 decryptor. I don't know what that is. But here. There's our hash, MD5 hashes. What is that? M-U-I-L-I-C. L-I-C. There's the password for that person.
Test?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Crazy thing about this site is they have everything. MD5, NTLM, SHA-1, I think I saw in here rainbow tables, password dump, you name it. You could run anything through here, and you know, they have all the rainbow tables right online.
Wow.
Okay? Maybe not the smartest thing if you're really trying to crack into something, but it's a great way to kind of certainly, you know, test, see how things work.
What is the point of encrypting something if it's so easy to decrypt it?
Well, certainly it's better than no encryption at all.
Yeah.
But the real reason here is this is easy to decrypt because it's a simple word. Okay, now if you made something, Microsoft passwords are like anything beyond 14 characters just becomes null anyway. But still, you want to make a really strong, complex password.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so that is one way kind of get into the site. Okay, but there certainly are other ways. So in this case, let's put this guy to rest. And the cool thing about Bad Store is that no matter what I do to it, if I restart it, it just rebuilds the whole website completely new again. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to take my proxy, and I'm going to turn the intercept off because we don't really need it at this point. Okay, so let's say you wanted to log in. Looks like intercept's still on. Intercept off. You wanted to log in, but you don't. You want to get in without really having a username and password. Well, you can do certain things. For instance, a lot of times in a guest book area, you can do some type of SQL injection to get access to a website. So for instance, if you did something like do a tick, or 1 equals 1 space or another tick, something like that. You know what happens here? We got to flush this whole website, okay? Because this website's been kind of worked on, looks like. So we're going to come back real quick, take a website and reset it. So what did you think about the parameter tampering part?
That was neat.
You see any uses for that?
Well, not ethical uses.
How would you prevent it?
Security.
There are ways, and typically these things are really meant to pen test a website to see if it's really you can subject it to these types of attacks. Okay, so for every one of these flaws, there's a way to go in here, especially even on this website, and then change them. So that there's two sides to the sword here. Right. There's a sword, the side that cuts, and maybe the side that protects.
Right.
Yeah. So that's, I think it makes really a great lesson in how to what they call input validation, input sanitization.
Would you say that most websites have better security than that one?
No, actually, there's one I like. It's called the plain text attack. You just go bracket, plain text, bracket, and you hit it, and it brings all the source code up. Sometimes that goes, it stays persistent. So sometimes it does something to the database that every time somebody comes to that site, that'll happen, the same thing will happen.
Oh, wow.
We're going to do we got a couple more cross-site scripts to do as well. And the reason why. Now, SQL injection is basically SQL is the really the command language for a database, to query a database. And so by forming your queries properly, you can find out the users, how many the tables in there, how many characters in the table, and extract information from it. Hence, a person may be able to really pull credit card information from it, pull users, or even access and log in to the site and change things. So sometimes I get called in for sites where this one company, they had, the site was getting defaced. And so they asked me to take a look at it. When I looked through the logs, I could see that where somebody logged in, the IP address where they logged in, where they uploaded the pictures. So I said, well, have you changed the administrative password? They said, yeah, we've changed it a couple times. I went, oh, okay. So I look it up, and I kind of, do my reconnaissance. I find that who was hosting it, and the web app was called Joomla. but it was an old version of Joomla. When I looked up the vulnerabilities in Joomla, here it was like, there was a dozen vulnerabilities, including 3 YouTube videos on how to get the administrator's password, you know, how to reset it.
Right.
You know? So, you know, the case for them was, say, hey, I think you ought to just upgrade or move to something else, you know,
Right.
because, you know, until you do that, you're just going to have problems.
Right.
And, okay, so by restarting that, right, so we're 102 still, that's good, okay. All right, so, hence, we are back where we were, and we're going back to, let's go back to the guest book. Okay, so basically you're going to type in there, make a tick, an asterisk. There you go.
Asterisk or?
Yeah, that's it. And see, actually you drop down,
yeah,
so
okay.
that remembers it. And hit enter. Now, actually, that did kind of log you in.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to scroll down, yeah. So basically what it does is this does not pass the test for SQL injection.
Left it as a comment.
Right,
So does this mean that we're in and we can look at their products?
right. Go back to the, go back to the guest book. Okay. All right, now under name, you're gonna go use a caret, so it'd be like this, it'd be here. In fact, we got a couple up here. So this is to see if it's subjective to scripting attacks. Mm-hmm. So these are basically HTML codes. So I could put that in there, right? Mm-hmm. And hit enter. Which means that anybody coming back to that is going to have the same issue. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now we got another one in here. It's kind of interesting. See this here, this document cookie? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's kind of interesting because right now we're kind of logged in, but let's load that one in. So, and hit it. And basically what I get, the first one that we put in there, so that's actually been embedded in the page. Okay, so if I go to the page and I kind of look at the source of the page, you'll see that down towards the bottom, this stuff that we're putting in there is being actually added to it. Mm-hmm. But you notice we really didn't get any kind of response on that document cookie, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so now let's go back to login, and I want you to log in with your account. Okay. No, it would be Alicia alicia.com. Okay. Oh, it doesn't remember. So, you know something?
Doesn't remember.
Create
can you
the
reset
account.
it?
Yeah, create an account. Yeah. You see where I'm kind of headed with this. Yeah, nice. Great. Okay. Now go to the guest book. And under name, start the type the caret. No, that's it. There you go. And put in that document cookie. This one right there. Yeah. And hit add entry. Hit OK. So what it did was it actually grabbed the session ID. Mm-hmm. Okay? This could be used. Now what a lot of people would do, I mean, we just did it in a kind of a simple way, but they'll actually have a cookie grabber. and they will put in an iframe that would go, grab the cookie and send it to this site, so that every time somebody logs in, it would actually grab that, and then they can replay it.
Wow.
And that's pretty much what the idea of really cross-site scripting is about.
Yeah.
You'll be able to steal it. So it's pretty amazing, you know, what you can do. That's a great website to kind of play with, you know, because you could actually just stick this in your machine and boot up your machine with it. It doesn't matter, whatever machine it is, and you just run it right from the CD, then turn the machine off and take it out. So it's a great little training device. Or you could do it like I did, actually building. You'll build VMs and put it in a VM.
Yeah. Neat.
Okay, and there you have it. Hacking the web.
Now we hope you've enjoyed this free module, but there's lots more. The Cyber Kung Fu course has 29 videos in all and will really help build you a solid understanding of the CEH version 8 curriculum. Don't forget, if you prefer to attend one of Secure Ninja's courses in person at any of our training locations, you really need to visit SecureNinja.com/specials for some amazing discounts and other deals. I'm Alicia Webb. Happy training.
Secure Ninja TV is brought to you by SecureNinja.com, a world leader in cybersecurity training and certification. Our master instructors will help build you into a highly skilled and marketable security professional. Secure Ninja, forging cybersecurity experts.